All right, guys, how you doing, man? It's Jimmy. I'm back to show you guys another clip of the W4 forms for 2017. A lot of you guys haven't seen this paperwork in a while, and that may be the reason why the government is getting a third of your money throughout the year, and you guys are ending up with a small tax return and thinking you have hit gold or hit the lotto. So let's walk through this real quick. It'll be a short video here, but I think this will be a very valuable video. A lot of people don't even know or even remember what they put on their W-4s. So we're going to walk through this. Let's start off with this. Up here we have everything described by the IRS in detail. So basically, here's our dictionary on this page. So if you find yourself in a situation filling out any of this information, at some point you can be able to either direct yourself back here, or the IRS itself has also noted at the bottom, refer to publication, whatever number they send to you. At that point, you need to do your due diligence and research on it, and not just not know about it and just filling whatever you think you should fill. So let's start here. So we got line A. Enter one for yourself if no one else can claim you as a dependent. So in this case, or this scenario, we're going to be using a single female with no kids with one job. So that's a scenario. Single female, no kid, one job. So in this case, somebody cannot, or nobody, I should say, cannot claim her as a dependent because she's grown. So we're going to go ahead and put her down as one for line A. Let's go over to line B. Enter one if you're single and have only one job, or you're married, have only one job, and your spouse doesn't work, or your wages from a second job, or your spouse's wages, or the total of both are $1,500 or less. So in line B, we already know she's single, she has one job, so we're going to go with one. We're going to enter one there. Line C, enter one for your spouse. We can stop right there at this point because she doesn't have a spouse, she's single. Now I want to also reiterate on that if none of this applies to you, do not fill it out as it does. If it applies to you, follow the instructions that are given, plain and simple, right up under to the side of the line or whatever you're reading at that point. So line C, we had no spouse, so we put a 0, line C. Line D, enter number of dependents. We can stop there. Dependents are people you take care of. Now, in this case, she's single with no kids, but I want to also reiterate on what an actual dependent is. A dependent is someone you take care of. So that could also be in these situations where you're taking care of your nieces and nephews because they're having a bad situation with their parents, or whatever the scenario may be. Or you may have an elder in your home that you're taking care of, so that would fall under the dependents. But in this case, we don't have it, so we're going to 0 for line D. Line E. Enter one if you will be filing head of household on your tax return. See conditions under head of household. See what I mean about how they tell you exactly where to go. So let's go back up to our definitions here and read what it really says about head of household. Head of household, generally, you can claim head of household filing status on your tax return only if you are unmarried and pay more than 50% of the cost of keeping up a home for yourself and your dependents, or other qualified individuals. Back to the elderly, or maybe nieces and nephews. That's what that means. So in this case, none of that applies to us because she's single and she doesn't have any dependents. So we can't do the head of household for line E. So let's go down to line F. Enter one if you have at least $2,000 of child. Once we mention the child, there's no need to even go any further because we know the status of that. So we got a 0 for E. F. Enter one if you have at least $2,000 of child or dependent care expenses. So in this case, I just want to explain this. In this case, it could be a child, or it could be, like, again, the elder, or whatever special scenario you may have taking care of someone else under your household. So in this case, that's not what's happening. So we're going to put 0. G, child tax credit. No need to read further because we don't have a child, so we're putting 0 there. Line H says, add lines A through G and enter total here. This may be different from the total of exemptions you claim on your tax returns. Now, we got 1 on A, 1 on B, and 0 through the rest of it. So at the end, we're going to be going to put 2 for line H, right? Follow me now. Now, most people will be done here. Most people who are employed or who only have one job and do not have a second job far as their own. So being if you are a business owner, we're going to scroll down to the second page. Page 2 of the W-4s for 2017. And this is also directly off of the IRS.org page. You can also go there yourself. You can print it out. It's printable forms. It's free. So guys, don't be scared of it. You want to know a question, you can also go there and ask specific questions about it also. So with this page 2 is for those business owners and those people who are going to be deducting some expenses or also adding some income that they may have earned by owning the business. But also, I want to make sure that I stress this to you guys. If you're not filling out this page, you are losing money left and right throughout the year. The government is using your money, 1/3 of your cash, I should tell you that. 1/3 of your cash out of more than 100 million people are filling this out wrong or don't fill this out at all because they don't own a home business or a business of some sort. So imagine, just to give you layman's term, you're making $50,000 and you're only dealing with the the page 1 of the W-4s. Guess what's happening here? You're getting taxed off top before you even see your check, and the amount of money that they're taking is nowhere near the amount of money that you guys are receiving back at your tax return when you're heading to the mall to go cop those new Jordans. So if you stroll down here to the business side of things, to where the big ballers roll, here's where we're going to be far as business owner. Now, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad about not being a business owner, but I also want to let you know that if you are not and you are interested in having this option for your W-4 page 2, then contact me at any type of form you need to. You can comment up under this posting here, or you can also hit me up at Jimmy Kennedy. That's my personal page. Or you also can go to Clearview Future financial page and hit me there. But once again, this page is the main key, guys. If you're not filling out this page, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. And if you're not filling out just the basics of page 1 correctly, you guys are leaving a lot of money on the table. Do not listen to what the HR guys are telling you. Do not listen to what anybody telling you, because I know some H&R Block guys who are messing up. And the reason why they're messing up, they do not come to work to worry about if they got your taxes correctly or not. They worry about how many people tax reform or tax paperwork they can fill out. So if you go in there thinking that they all about just making it right, you're under the wrong, you have the misconception of what really is going on. So do your research, guys. And once again, this is the W-4 2017 rundown on how it all goes. Have any questions, contact me. You guys have a good night.